Welcome back, everyone. Sheepdog Smokey here, and this one honestly was not a surprise. New Zealander faces 14 years after pleading guilty to sharing mosque shooting video. A businessman from Christchurch, New Zealand, pleaded guilty on two charges of distributing footage of the Al Noor Mosque attack, according to the New Zealand Herald. Philip Neville Arps was convicted on both charges, one of which was for sharing raw footage from accused shooter Brenton Tarrant's rampage to approximately 30 people on Facebook. Neville's other charge was for requesting that another person modify the footage by overlaying crosshairs and a kill count, which the court heard that he intended to distribute as an internet meme. The 44-year-old Arps said that the modified footage was awesome, according to a police statement. In 2016, Arps was convicted of offensive behavior for filming himself giving a Hitler salute while delivering a box of pig heads and off-eye to the Al Noor Mosque, according to the Herald. White Power Bring on the Call, said Arps, owner of Beneficial Insulation, the logo for which is an ancient sun wheel symbol reintroduced by Heinrich Himmler during Nazi Germany. 50 people were killed in the two consecutive terrorist attacks were carried out, this is a badly written sentence, on March 15th by 28-year-old Australian Brenton Tarrant, who posted about his attack beforehand over internet message boards, which included a link to his Facebook live stream. Apparently I can't scroll, so we'll do this. The video, as well as a 74-page manifesto posted by Tarrant titled The Great Replacement, were deemed objectionable by New Zealand's chief censor, making them unlawful to possess or distribute within the country. Now, there's an inherent problem in this, as well as a bit that's not talked about that really should be. And one, this man, if he was truly trying to turn a massacre into a meme, needs to be in a mental institution, not necessarily jail, because there's something wrong upstairs. But also the fact that the New Zealand government is literally declaring what is and is not allowed to be shared. Now, yes, on the one hand, you should not make light of death. You should not mock a massacre as he was planning to. But we don't need to ignore it either. Imagine if the U.S., after Columbine 20 years ago, made it a federal crime to post anything anywhere, to share any information in any means, in any way, about mass shootings. The news would not be able to report on them, although we might have a state-run media that would. We would not have the ability to share information such as the information about Nicholas Cruz or Dylan Roof or this last idiot from Poway. Now, I don't say we need to be able to share it so that they can be glorified or made into heroes. We need to know what to watch for. With Nicholas Cruz, unfortunately, what to watch for should have already been watched for. Violent tendencies, comments on YouTube videos that he would be a school shooter, assaulting his mother and damaging their home in rage-filled instances, and all of that was ignored. Perhaps if we were not able to share information as we are in this country, Cruz might not have even been able to give the clues he gave, at least not to people outside of his family or his school. And then it would just have been a matter of a report of a school shooting where multiple police calls were ignored, but he wouldn't have had any of the other things. So we need to be able to use the information for basically monitoring, to watch for who may need help. And I don't mean who should be incarcerated without committing a crime. But if you are showing clear signs that you're moving toward becoming a murderer, then you need psychological counseling. You need professional help, be it against your will or not. Now, the last thing here, and I want to bring this up, the logo here. Yes, it is an ancient sundial, an ancient symbol that was corrupted by Nazi Germany. And the problem we have is that basically we let people corrupt symbols and then they're never to be used again. The Nazi swastika was an ancient symbol, normally of peace. It was a religious symbol. But because it was adopted by the Nazis, we're not allowed to ever speak of it again. What happens if a shooter decides to use a menorah as their logo or whatnot? Are we going to tell the entire Jewish faith to do away with their menorahs? No, we shouldn't. And I hope if that ever happens, we don't. The problem we have is that we have too many people in power that react with, we just need to not talk about this. Just ignore it and it goes away. And the problem is, as much as The Simpsons had a catchy little tune about advertising icons, just don't look, that's not the case. That doesn't work. When people who are sick, like the idiot from Poway, Cruz, Roof, or any others, when they're sick, they want attention. If they're not given attention, they escalate until they are. I've mentioned before that if you take a disruptive child in a fourth grade classroom and you challenge their mind, and then you give them positive feedback and you give them that positive attention for doing well on the challenging information and material, their disruptions will dwindle until they're gone. When a student only receives negative attention, they still are receiving attention and they thrive on it. And if all that ever happens is negative, they internalize that that is what they should be receiving. And we end up with shooters and abusers and more. We need not to necessarily glorify them, but we don't need to ignore them either. I personally don't believe we should be using their names all over social media or the news. Let it be known that it was a person that attacked a location. When they're no longer celebrities for something, and basically they're not getting the attention that that act once gave, yes, they will go to some other attack, some other action, but we can move on from there and we can continue the trend of not giving them the negative attention or positive, and also removing them from society to help them. If someone had acted in Parkland months even before, if not years, we might have had only a small local story about a local boy sent to a mental institution for counseling and rehabilitation. Instead, we had a national news blitz about a horrific day at Parkland, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, that is still used today to demand obedience and to demonize anyone who doesn't follow what the media says we should follow. We don't need to get to this level. We do not need to get to this level, because going to this level it's Orwellian. It's all it is. And if you've not read 1984, do so. 1984, Animal Farm, Brave New World, Fahrenheit 451, all great books that show you exactly where you do not want your world to go. And unfortunately, we're steamrolling for it. Something like this is the first step. This is the first step to Orwellian control, because this is thought crime. This is, you're not allowed to think anything you want to think. You're only allowed to think what we tell you is approved. And it will go from jail for spreading a video to jail for talking about it to jail for we think you're thinking about it. And trust me, nobody wants that. No one but the tyrants who will be enforcing it. And while they're enforcing it, they'll be doing everything they tell you you're not allowed to do. But I've talked long enough about this. Let me know what you think in the comments. Keep it civil. As always, we don't learn from argument, we learn from debate. Also, make sure, please, to like, share, and subscribe, or like, share, and comment on this video, to subscribe and ring notifications so that you are among the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day.